The piece behind me, I mean, it worked out the way it did because originally the whole thing was supposed to be a big whole, a whole vision, and it ended up being a little more fragmented and not exactly things where they originally were meant to be. However, a big deal in my family was the secrets my family kept. And another kind of, there are a lot of young women that are around my house. I live with my oldest daughter who's 30, so there are a lot of young women around. And a lot of what they talk about is the kind of messages they got from men when they were young, teenagers, starting to date, starting to have sex, and how abusive it was, and the secrets they kept, and the secrets they kept from themselves. And there's also, this figure down here, this is actually supposed to be a doll, but everybody thinks it's a baby. Still, when you're talking about family violence, child abuse, I mean, it's all of a piece. The secret keeping, the secrets you keep from yourself, the secrets you keep from your parents. Most of my clients, for instance, that had childhood abuse did not tell anybody about it. And so they made up stories to themselves in their heads about it. And they told that story over and over and over again. One thing about human memory, the way your brain actually works, is we don't actually remember events. So structurally, our brains can't do that. What we remember is the story we tell ourselves about those events. But we keep telling that story over the years, and it changes a little bit all the time, like playing telephone, right? It changes a little bit all the time. But then you end up sort of building this structure that may not be true, but certainly at a certain point it doesn't serve you anymore. And so, people come to a therapist because that wall that they built to survive needs to come down so that they can flourish. And that's complicated and painful and difficult, but we all have that to some degree. I mean, even to the point of who we think our parents are, or who we think our partner is. We often, I would say the majority of time, we don't actually see or hear people for who they are. And we have this vision of who we want them to be, our romantic partners, and we place this sort of transparency over them of what we want them to be. And we only focus on the things that fit that narrative and discard when they behave in a way that doesn't fit that narrative. That's not true, right? It's not true. But this is a factor of like all aspects of our life. There isn't any part of your life that's like in a little compartment. It's all. So making art, being a therapist, have people give me feedback, talking to clients in therapy or talking to people that are artists about art is all of a piece. It's not just one little thing.